So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about doing a remodel on your own. Tamara and I have been obviously doing this for years. We have tools galore. I am a tool junkie, and I buy everything that I think would work for me and make things better, mostly make things easier. So I've thought about if I wanted to get started in doing a home remodel and I needed to go out and buy tools, what tools would I find are essential and make life easier and allow me to get the job done faster so I can move on and do something else? And so I've arranged a whole set of tools here that I think I could almost do a whole house in a remodel. I could remove walls, I could install doors, I could put in windows, I could fix the floors, I could do everything. So I'm going to start off with kind of considering what would I do if I knocked a wall down and I did some framing. And the first things that I'm going to need are some crowbars. Now these are small examples, but crowbars are essential. This is like a finishing bar to pull out or to adjust trim work with maybe. The other thing that I'm going to need is my Sawzall for demo. The Sawzall is a fantastic tool. You can reach in to spots, get inside sheetrock, cut off 2x4s to get them out of the way, any number of things. This is a super handy tool. You won't use it the whole job, but you're sure going to use it when you're doing demo. From there, hammer. Well, you can't have too many hammers. One of your less expensive items you're going to need when you get started on a project like this. So then from the demo, I've got everything cleaned out. Now I'm going to start rebuilding the place, and I'm going to need saws. So the first saw I'm going to need is a table saw and a circular saw. So the circular saw is this one happens to be battery operated, fantastic tool. I love battery operated tools. No cords, no nothing like that to carry around. But you can do it, if you don't want to buy that, you can do it with just a regular old handsaw. These things are still invaluable. You got to have them. You got to have one. Whether you have that or not, you're still going to want one of these because there are just some things that you can't do with electric tools. You can't reach it. You can't whatever. So that's the first tools I'm going to need when I start framing. I'm going to need a level. Always need a level. I left out my square. I'm going to need a square, and I've got one right here. This is a small square, but essential. I'd probably want this small size, and I'd probably want a larger size. The other thing I'm obviously going to need, tape measure. You can't remodel a house without tape measures. Probably going to need more than one. 25 foot. Get them thick enough. Get at least 3/4 or 1 inch width, because you're always going to want to reach out there 8 foot and get a measurement, and you just can't do that with a 1/2 inch tape. It'll bend, it'll break, it'll do all kinds of crazy things that just kind of ruin your day, make it really hard. So again, Sawzall, circular saw, hammer, crowbars, square, those are all essentials in the beginning. Then as things get progressive, as they progress along, you're going to want a table saw. This is a portable table saw, not super heavy duty. It's probably a $350 item. Extremely worth the money when you need it. When you need a straight cut, when you need to rip something the long way, like a 2x4 to turn it into a 2x3, something like that. This is essential. And believe me, when you're remodeling a house, you're always going to make something special because something just doesn't fit. Maybe it's an old enough house they use dimensional lumber. We don't buy dimensional lumber anymore. So everything is not 2 inches, it's 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. Nothing is the same as it was 100 years ago. So you need some ability to create some of those things when you need them. So we've gotten through putting up walls. You're going to need, when you put up the sheetrock, you're going to need either a drill or a sheetrock drill. Now, a sheetrock drill is a special tool that has a device on the end that when you get the screw in just the right amount, the screwdriver comes out of the head and stops so that you don't tear the paper. You can do a similar thing with a drill like this that has an adjustable amount of torque that could be put on the head, but it's not as convenient. It's slower, but it will do the job, and I've done many a house with this in the past. This is a fabulous tool if you're going to do a lot of framing. It's a framing nailer, and this puts in a 16-penny nail, and it makes life on your elbow a whole lot easier. Not absolutely essential, but again, what I'm trying to do is figure out things to make your life easier and faster. And this is a finish nailer. Now this one runs off of air, but I have one that runs off of butane, like this machine. And they both work fabulous, and they put the nails in. They actually, you adjust these tools right here on top, on the head, and it controls the depth of the nail so that the nail only goes in about 1/8 of an inch below the surface, so you can put some wood filler in, paint over it. You'll never know it was there. You'll never know the nail went in that spot. Beautiful tools. This little tool is I've heard several names. I'm not even sure what this one is called, but a jab saw, or this one is called a job max. But this little serrated head, this is a saw right here on the end of this tool. It just vibrates extremely rapidly. What you can use this for is when you need to cut off the bottom of a door frame, as an example, to get carpeting or wood flooring. This will allow you to go in and just cut a really nice smooth cut, clear across, make it just the depth that you want, so that you can get your hardwood flooring under your door frame without having to remove the door frame or tear it up in some other manner. So all of those are essential. When you get down to the end and you're framing, I'm not going to say that this tool is absolutely essential, but without it, it'll take you days and days and weeks to trim out a house. With a miter saw, you can trim out a house and do amazing amounts of work in high quality over a very short period of time. I love this tool. It's made my life so much easier. The first house I did with a handsaw, probably 40 years ago, and oh my gosh, a hand miter saw. They made a little box like this, and it had 45 angles on it and 90, and you hand cut every piece of trim, and then you glued it up, and I don't even want to think about doing that again. So these are essential tools to me. And I'd guess that all of my electric tools were maybe $500. These nail guns were probably another $600. That's $400 without the stand. That's kind of a fancy stand. You don't have to have it. This saw is $400. All of my hand tools, probably another $200 or $300 maybe at the most. So I'm not sure what that added up to, but I'm darn sure that for less than $3,000, you could have all the tools you need right here. Buy first class. Don't buy cheap ones. Don't go to some of your discount stores and get the cheapest thing you can get. You buy professional tools, your work will look like a professional. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed this Working with Ward series. Tamara and I, on our HGTV show Bargain Mansions, have used every single one of these many, many times. And as you have watched, some of those homes turn out really beautiful. Thank you.